cast my line, now they're biting. Yeah, rocky coasts and lighthouses. What she knows now, I doubt it. Talk to me nice. I think your confusion starts with street lights.
Hey guys, welcome to your Aries/Taurus season videos. I've got the red theme going on here right now to honor the fire in our universe this month. So I wanted to record a little bit of an intro video like I do every month for those of you who appreciate the astrological information. So I've got my notes here. We have a lot going on in April, you guys. The readings are cool. I've only done a few half of the zodiac wheel, so I still have Libra through Pisces to do, but by the time you guys watch this, all of them will be finished. So whew, yeah, definitely a lot of messages coming out here in April, guys. The readings so far have been kind of lit. They've been kind of interesting. I'm enjoying these Aries season readings. So we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on here in April, astrological wise, and then we'll get going on your tarot video. So Mercury goes direct on the 15th, which is tomorrow. Yes. So by the time most of you watch this video, Mercury will be direct, and some of the crazy problems and inconveniences and challenges and obstacles that we've been having mentally will kind of slow down a bit, okay? We are going to have a shadow period. Mercury always goes into shadow period 2 weeks before it goes retrograde and 2 weeks after. So, you know, we're not going to be quite completely in the clear of this energy until the end of April. But, you know, that energy is slowing down, and the mental energy is going to pick back up with Mercury going back direct on the 15th. Now, on that same day, we have the Aries new moon. So I have an Aries new moon video that I'm going to upload on tomorrow on the 15th as well. So, you know, that's definitely a time to set new intentions, you guys. This whole Aries season is all about self. This is the first house, you guys. So last month, we really did close a lot of chapters out with the Pisces 12th house energy, a lot of spiritual subconscious releasing. And now we're at the astrological new year. Happy spring. This is definitely the start of 2018, the real 2018, the one that's going to go down in history. Okay, some of the real actual shit is about to take off here in April. So we did enter the month with a full moon. How was the Libra full moon for you guys? That was a very beautiful, significant, life-changing, beautiful moon for me. The Libra full moon, it really did restore balance. This is the opposite sign of Aries. It restored a lot of balance in our universe because Libra controls an alternate universe where everything's opposite. The first house is Libra instead of Aries. The second house is Scorpio instead of Taurus. Third house is Sagittarius instead of Gemini. So you see how the signs are kind of opposite there. So we entered the month under the full moon in Libra energy. You know, so moving on here with the planets, we have Chiron entering Aries on the 17th. Now, you know, this is going to be interesting. I am going to have a Chiron video for all 12 signs about, you know, what this is going to mean. This is the wounded healer. Chiron, you might want to do your own research about Chiron, but he is a wounded healer. You know, he is the shaman of healing. So wherever Chiron is in the universe, or wherever he is in your natal chart, you can, you know, that's where your pain is. That's where your unhealed wounds are, unresolved wounds, okay? So there's going to be a flushing of wounds that take place. Now, for Chiron to be exiting Pisces, we've had Chiron in Pisces for a long time, you guys. I'm going to talk about this more in a separate video, but I do feel the need to mention it because it's happening in April. It's going to move into Aries, which means healing. Our pain and our healing is it's gonna be a new cycle, first of all, because anytime anything moves from Pisces to Aries, it's reborn completely because it's going from 12 to 1, from finished to start. So that's a door closed and another door open. So this is a new cycle of pain. We have all completed a certain cycle of pain in our life in different areas. So this is going to be pain in a different area, you guys. This is going to be, collectively, it's self-pain. Aries rules self, so Aries handles pain a lot different than Pisces. So, you know, Aries is not one to really lay down and take defeat. So this is going to be a completely different energy with Chiron, okay? And I'm going to talk about that in a different video, but, you know, it's just a little bit of a heads up this month if you want to research Chiron and Aries. You can gain kind of your own perspective about that until I come out with the videos later on in the month. So we do have that happening on the 17th. Also on the 17th, we have Saturn retrograde. I am going to have videos about that too. I'm probably going to do those before I do the Chiron videos, because Saturn is retrograding on April 17th until September 6th. So that's a long chunk of time there for the planet of restriction, the planet of limitations and boundaries, and the Lord of Karma. Like, this is going to be very interesting to kind of channel some stuff about that. I believe this is literally us time traveling, because Saturn rules time. So this is us time traveling back into, you know, this is us slowing down, karma slowing down, a lot of different changes here. That Saturn retrograde is going to be the starting point to a lot of different changes in our life. And so is the Aries new moon on the 15th. You're going to see things pick up in mid-April, okay? It's been really confusing beginning of April, end of March. It's been kind of here nor there, but the energy is really going to start picking up with this energy when Taurus season begins, which is on the 19th. Late at night, basically the 20th, the sun is going to enter Taurus. All this fiery energy, all this passionate, basically on fire energy, all this fire, passionate energy, it's going to ground itself in Taurus. And, you know, Taurus is a more realistically, earthly grounded, logical sign, and it's a little bit more patient. But this, you're going to literally feel this energy really ground itself. Taurus is going to give this energy kind of some land to land on, you know what I mean? So we're going to see the energy kind of shift after the 19th. And then we're going to end the month with a little bit of energy here. We have Pluto retrograde on the 22nd. So guys, Jupiter's retrograde. Jupiter's going to be retrograde. Saturn's going to be retrograde. Pluto's going to be retrograde. So that is 3 planets retrograde. So that's 3 different areas in our life that is, the universe is trying to tell us something about the past. The universe is trying to tell us to slow down a bit. So Saturn rules karma, Pluto rules the underworld, and Jupiter rules expansion. So as far as our expansion, we're being asked to look at that in a little bit of a different way this month. We're being asked to slow down a little bit and not overexpand, not expand beyond our true path. Pluto is going to purify a lot of things. Pluto is going to retrograde back to our past to purify anything that no longer serves us. This is Scorpio's ruling planet. So this is transformation, death, and rebirth. Okay, so we do have all those planets retrograde. I might have a video come out for that. I'm not sure, guys. I might briefly talk about it. Seems interesting, though. So let me know if you want me to do a video about that, and I will. But I for sure will do one about Saturn, and I'm for sure going to do one about Chiron. And so moving on, after the 22nd, we have a couple days later on the 24th, we have Venus in Gemini, moving into Gemini. First half of the month, Venus is in Taurus. Okay, so that's really good. Taurus is ruled by Venus. So that's really bringing the value and the abundance back to our relationships, bringing the abundance to, you know, our values and our personal resources. This is going to take a shift to the 3rd house. So this is adding abundance to our short distance travels. This is adding abundance to our communication. Now, Gemini is the lovers. So I think this is interesting to have Venus, the ruling planet of love and the goddess of love, entering the sign of the lovers. So this is going to be really, really magical, really, really magical for soulmates and twin flames, karmic partners. A lot of us are going to be really finally meeting around this Gemini transit with Venus, okay? So, you know, that's an air sign, bringing it a more intellectual vibe to Venus, communication, you know. So you guys, if you want to follow me on Instagram or if you want to add me on Facebook, I'll have all my information in the description box, because for every full moon and every new moon, every time something significant happens in the astrological sky, I always put out a post about it. So I'm going to be posting about all this stuff. It's going to be words, though. You know, I don't really have videos except for on my YouTube. So this is if you want a more written response. I also, every Tuesday I have a tarot card that I pull for the week. So if you want to follow me there and just kind of hang out, that's a way to contact me and just kind of keep in touch with me a little bit more. Oh, do you hear that wind? The wind has just been blowing so hard, man. This is the opposite. Air is the opposite of fire. So we need air and oxygen to ignite this Aries new moon tonight and tomorrow. So this energy is on, you guys. And so I don't want to forget to mention here that at the end of the month, we have a beautiful full moon in Scorpio. So we are all going through a soul transformation. With the moon going full in Scorpio in Taurus season, we're definitely going to be going through some death and rebirth with Pluto going retrograde, Scorpio's ruling planet. And then Scorpio full moons are some of my favorite full moons. I have a Scorpio North Node and a Scorpio Midheaven. So I am very, very looking forward to this beautiful energy. You know, this is the 8th house, you guys. This is the house that is traditionally hidden. So a lot of light shedding on our secret, intimate thoughts and feelings. You know, this is a water energy. So definitely want to look out for that Scorpio full moon. I'm going to have a video talking about that where I pull cards for all 12 zodiac signs. I'm going to pull a tarot card message for all the signs for the full moon in Scorpio. So yeah, guys, a lot to look forward to in April. I hope you enjoy your readings. They're pretty nice. This month, Scorpio and Virgo got the giveaway. So Virgo had more than 5,000 likes on my last video. Thank you so much, all of you, really. And also, I can't forget to mention that, oh my God, I have over 1,000 subscribers now. So I know that's not like super a lot, but this is the beginning of my journey. And oh my God, it means so much to me that there are over 1,000 people over in the world, throughout the world, that care about my videos every month. And I hope to gain even more subscribers this month. I love connecting with you guys. This is a passion of mine. So when I sit down every month to record and talk about all these astrological events, it truly gives me joy. It truly gives me passion. It makes me happy. So, you know, and I've done a handful of private readings so far. So for any of you who have gotten a private reading with me, and for any of you who have donated to my channel and who have got the braid beads, thank you so much for supporting my Pisces shenanigans. I get these ideas and, you know, mostly I think that they're just illusions and fantasies, but then you guys make it real for me. You make it real. And it's just, I'm humbled. I'm humbled and I'm so blessed. And, you know, I have all my information below. If you'd like to talk to me on a more personal level, you can schedule. I work with PayPal. I'm very, very cheap. You know, $20 for an hour-long tarot reading. I would love, but only if you feel led to. I believe that only those who feel led to contact me actually reach out. You know, I pray every day that the right people see my videos. So I just appreciate your guys' likes and subscribes so much, and your comments, and just all of the ways that we connect. It just means so much. And, you know, as far as this month goes with the readings, you guys, I am getting I'm getting a card. It's a whole tarot spread. I'm just kind of letting whatever comes out come out. But I am getting one card to symbolize ourself. So I'm getting a card to overlook the rest of the reading. And this card, because Aries rules self. So I thought it would be a really good idea to kind of get a card to best represent our energy this month. All of the signs are embodying a different energy of self. So I am getting a card to represent you and who you are. And then we get kind of different messages there to kind of relate to that. So that's all about the reading, you guys. As I mentioned, Virgo and Scorpio, they're getting extra cards this month. So make sure you view and like and share with your friends and on your social media so that maybe your sign. I think what I'm going to do from now on is I'm going to give extra cards to whatever two signs. The one sign that views me the most and the sign that likes my video the most. So whatever sign has the most likes and the most views, they're going to get extra time. My videos are all really long this month, but I'm not really this month, but usually they're about an hour long when you consider the intro video as well. So yeah, I'm probably going to give an extra 10 minutes to next month. I'm going to give an extra 10 minutes to whatever two signs have the most likes and the most views. So share and like and subscribe, you guys. And also I'm going to have extra giveaways and stuff like that. Just lots of stuff happening in April. April is just, I feel the energy. So happy spring, you guys. The weather is getting nicer, not really today, but the sun is getting stronger and brighter and warmer. So I wish you guys all a happy spring, a happy April, happy birthday to the Aries and the Tauruses that have April birthdays. Shout out to all of you watching my videos, all of you. It means so much. And I hope you enjoy your readings. Okay, see you in the next video. Hi Cancer, welcome to your April tarot video. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I just woke up not too long ago, and you know, the lighting is pretty good right now, so I'm like, you know, I need to sit down. And I literally woke up like 30 minutes ago, and I'm like, I need to get going on this Cancer video. And I can't help but to think that maybe it's better that I'm feeling this kind of half asleep energy. I don't want you guys to worry about your tarot reading because I've always been a person that just operates better sleepy. Maybe I need to tell myself that a little bit more. Our energy as water signs is very dreamy and lucidy and very hypnotic, psychedelic type of thing. So, you know, when you're sleepy, you're kind of half in a different realm. Now, my voice might give out a little bit because that's another thing about me as a Taurus moon. My voice, when I first wake up, I need a little bit. So let me take a drink here. And mute my computer because we don't need any musical tones happening there. So yeah, Cancer. I'm actually going to unmute it because I just don't feel right about it. I don't want something to happen. So, let's take a glance up here at the notes. I'm going to cover everything in the intro video like I usually do. So we do have Mercury retrograde. Let's see what houses this is happening in for you. So Aries is your 10th house of career. Meaning that the full moon in Libra happened in your 4th house of home. That's you, Cancer. You are the 4th house. So you had a full moon on March 31st coming into April in your 4th house of home environment, okay? So there could be some changes, some new beginnings happening at home. I wouldn't be surprised. We have Mercury retrograde in your 10th house of career, so there could be some unfinished goals coming back to mind. You could be thinking a lot about career changes and career changes from the past, anything unfinished like that having to do with finances or goals. We have a new moon in a couple days, you guys, in that same house for you. So there's a new moon in your house of career and finances. So good time there to, you know, plant any new seeds or set any new intentions for new jobs or new finances, new anything. It doesn't have to be finances. It's just valued goals. This is the house of Capricorn. The 10th house is the house of Capricorn, but it's occupied by Aries for you. So you really want to charge head forward about towards these, you know, new goals and whatever it is that you see for your future changing. This is your like long distance future though, like years down the road. What do you want to see happen, Cancer? This transit is really great for you to kind of sit down, take out a piece of paper, you know, focus on way into the future what you see, okay? So that's the first half of April. The second half of April, we have those energies moving from your 4th house to your 5th house of Scorpio, and from your 10th house to your 11th house of Taurus. So that's going to move to the groups of people. The sun is going to enter Taurus, your 11th house, on the 19th. So that has everything to do with your wishes, your long-term goals, once again, your the hope for the future, stuff like that. And literally your hopes, your wishes, and your dreams. And your friends, the community that you live in, groups of people. That's going to be the Taurus energy coming in after the 19th, the second half of April. And then the Scorpio energy is your 5th house because this is pleasurable energy for you. And it's really unique that you have Scorpio as your 5th house because Scorpio is a very intimate, intense, sexual sign. You know, they're the 8th house, but for you it's your 5th house, having to do with fun and pleasure. So this full moon is really going to bring back some positivity for you. It's going to bring back some sunlight for you. That full moon is happening on the 29th at the end of the month. So that's a very interesting thing there happening for all water signs. This Scorpio full moon is going to be very, very interesting. So there could be some new beginnings happening in the pleasure houses. Sexually, there could be some new secrets or something like that. The Scorpio house is very, very interesting. It's the hidden house. But for you, you're going to have fun with this energy because you're a water sign and because this is happening in your 5th house. So we've got some 10th and 4th house action at the beginning and 11th and 5th house action at the end of the month. So Cancer, I've shuffled your cards. Let's take a look here. We do have the Six of Pentacles behind your card here. So definitely some 10th house action going on in April. This is the balancing of finances, okay? And we have the King of Wands. So definitely feeling that fire energy. Some of you might be dealing with an Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, or that could just simply be Aries season. So speaking of Aries season, Aries is the first house of self, okay? So what I've been doing so far for these readings is I'm getting a card. I'm going to put it right over here. And this card is going to be one card, hopefully. If it's not, then Spirit just wanted to give you more than that. But I'm setting the intent for it to be one card. And this card is going to be a symbol for yourself energy, the I am energy, because Aries that's the individual house. It rules you and who you are, who you represent yourself as an individual. And I think that energy can change over time. You know, we're not always the same people. Hopefully we're not the same people entirely that we are when we're born as we are when we die. Cancer. So, wow, this is very interesting. We have the Three of Swords coming out for you this month. So your overall energy, it could be a little bit, you know, wow, I should have went with my gut instinct, but I kind of just got busy talking to you guys. But I promise you from the bottom of my watery soul that when I started to do this reading, I thought it was maybe my own energy. I do believe the moon is in Pisces right now, but I feel a very sad, melancholy energy today, Cancer. I really do. And I think that hopefully you understand what I mean by this, but what a perfect energy to talk to you. I think Cancer and Pisces relate to each other most when we are feeling sad and melancholy. And when we are feeling, you know, really, really, because we like to swim away from our feelings a lot as water signs, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. A lot of people don't know that about us, but we do better with other people's feelings and emotions. When it comes to us, we try to avoid our feelings and emotions because we feel them so deeply. And that's exactly what I did in the beginning of this video, is I just tried to push through my own energy. But if I'm being honest, I feel a very, very heavy, sad energy. So if any of you are watching this, and if you're feeling a very heavy, sad energy in April, I mean, my cards are telling me that, I mean, this doesn't mean that your heart is broken, Cancer. And the thing about water signs is that a lot of things can break our heart. You know, we can feel this energy so quickly, and a lot of people make fun of us because of that. They call us crybabies, you know, but at the end of the day, we were born with an emotional intelligence that not many people can comprehend. And it's not that we like to stay in this energy. It's not that we enjoy it. It's just that we're used to it. And it's not exactly our fault or anybody else's fault, but it is what it is, right? So we very much have this watery energy, and I don't want you to be too sad this month, Cancer, because we have the Knight of Cups at the bottom of the deck. This is the underlying energy, okay? So this tells me a little bit more about the reading. It tells me a little bit more about this Three of Swords. So I'm hearing a lot of different energies. This is the Pisces card, but this is also Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, and it doesn't have to be that sign, you guys. This is emotion. This cup represents emotion. So there's some sort of love offer, because the Knight of Cups always comes with an offer. But I have been saying this to all the signs so far, that I have grown to trust the Knight of Pentacles more than any of the other knights in the deck. No offense, this is a beautiful card. This is the Pisces card, and I'm a Pisces, so I'm not trying to be, you know, discriminative or whatever you want to say, or just judgmental, but just I'm going to be real here with you, Cancer. This night, you know, think about how difficult it would be to carry this cup filled with a liquid of love, right? It's a cup of water, but it's metaphorical for love and emotion and spirits, right? So it's kind of hard to travel on a horse with a cup because it could spill. I also think the knight is so sweet and loving that if he comes across people along the way on his journey, he'll give a sip to this person, he'll give a sip to this person, and you know, you never really know what you're going to get with the Knight of Cups when he actually arrives to you, because he might come quicker. Emotions they can come quick. You know how we are, Cancer. When we start feeling something, we understand our own emotions so well that sometimes we can be a little bit quicker than other people about our emotion. You know, it's not scary usually for water signs to rush forward. I mean, this is literally the energy that we represent. And then this is your ruling tarot card, Cancer. So, you know, you actually have this, you're a cardinal sign, right? And Aries is a cardinal energy, so you could be feeling like rushing forward this month emotionally. I mean, this is a river here. Anytime I see water in the tarot, I definitely see emotion. And this is definitely moving very quickly. You know, your card is the card of the Chariot. It's the Chariot, and it means victory. It means moving forward very quickly, very fast movement. I mean, and that's very accurately depicted here in this card. But then we have this Knight who, you know, might not be able to move that quickly with their emotions. So with them, what I'm saying, Cancer, is there's a lot of emotion this month in April, and you want to be careful about the pace that you're taking. You know, you want to be careful of how much you're taking on, how much you're moving, how much you're doing this month, especially in the emotional department, because there's just a lot of energy happening in the universe. And, you know, I know that you're just as sensitive as Pisces and Scorpio. You know, I love Cancer for that reason. So your overall energy for April is definitely something to do with the heart. It definitely has something to do with love and emotion and feelings, okay? And we're going to go back to that energy, but we're going to actually get your reading going as well. But I did feel that sad energy with you, Cancer, and I feel that there's a lot. I feel that we just need to have a conversation, a long conversation about emotions, because not many people understand the way water signs maneuver. They don't understand how we can fall in love so quickly, or why we get so hurt so easily, and it's just because we live in this watery realm, especially you, Cancer, because you're ruled by the moon. Okay, so we can be kind of moody as water signs. Water is never completely still. Water is always flowing underneath the surface. It's always moving. We just don't look like we are. So we can appear very, very okay when we're not. So for the Cancers hopefully drawn to watch this video, I am speaking directly to those of you who feel a deep pain in April for some reason. For those of you who feel maybe heartbroken, maybe even some betrayal. I'm getting a lot of messages here that this could have to do with some kind of love offer that's not coming through. Maybe some breakups going on. But it could also, it might have nothing to, for some of you, it has nothing to do with love. It has something to do with your emotional, you know, it's interesting. I was talking to a Cancer rising before I started this video, and this person was very, very sad today as well, and I feel a very sad energy. So it could just be this Pisces energy, it could just be this new moon energy, it could be all these things. Okay, so we're gonna get some cards for you, Cancer, to try to get a better, well, you know, just a better message, a closer look at these energies. Okay, so let's just see what comes out for you. We have the Seven of Pentacles. So this is an energy of waiting to, you know, seeing what has grown and what hasn't grown, Cancer. This is your 10th house. So we are, you know, as much as I want to talk about feelings and emotions, we do have a lot of, and perhaps that's why you're feeling a little bit sad, because the universe is having you, it's bringing a lot of financial, difficulties to the surface this month. Definitely having to take a closer look at some sort of finance. And, you know, as water signs, I'm not sure why that was turned over, but it was. We'll just go with it. As water signs, we get kind of emotionally overwhelmed when we're forced to overly focus on the physical realm of money. And, I mean, Cancer, I think you do a better job with that than Pisces. And I think Scorpio does a better job with that than Pisces. But at the underneath it all, we all feel that way. At least that's what I'm channeling, and that's what I feel. And I'm not sure if all of you will admit that, or if all of you even feel that way. But if you do feel that way, don't be surprised, okay? Don't be surprised. So we've got some energies going here for you, Cancer. So yeah, I'm just saying all that because, you know, it's 10th house energy, 4th house energy. So you could be feeling very emotional about your home environment as well. I mean, that's the Cancer house. So a lot of emotion going on there. moving the camera just a tad bit here, and I'm gonna have to definitely gonna have to put my charger in here in a minute. So we definitely have some Pentacle energy, okay? We have the first card coming out is the Seven of Pentacles. So we see a woman here who's picking apples or pears or some sort of fruit off of this tree, okay? And so this is metaphorical for the things in life that we have planted. So this could be the seeds that you planted last month around this time. I believe every new moon is a seed, you know, and it's a seed that we water all month long until the full moon. So we did enter the month under a Libra full moon. So, you know, there could be certain intentions that you're setting, and you're reaping the reward of that, Cancer. But, you know, some of these are fruit, some of these are coins. So it's like, you know, it's like reminds me of a farmer energy, you know, which is a patient energy. This card does talk a lot about patience, even though the way that it's illustrated is a little bit different than the Rider-Waite Tarot. In the Rider-Waite Tarot, the man, he's taking a little bit of a break, and he's a farmer. So this talks about being patient to see things grow to fruition. This talks about being persistent, though. Patient, but persistent, you know. So there's things that you need to water this month, Cancer. You know, it could even be your own self. You could be your own seed right now, and you may need your own emotions watered. You know, you may need some emotional attention for things to grow and come to fruition. Really, you might. But this is, you know, it's going to be up to you and your own intuition. But either way, you're kind of revisiting this scenario this month. You're coming back to a situation that used to be just a tree. And now that you've spent time watering this tree, metaphorically, you've seen certain things come to fruition, you've seen certain things grow, and you've seen other things not grow. So, you know, the universe is asking you to determine what is worth your hard work. This lady has worked very hard, so it's time for her to reap the reward. So, you know, you want to ask yourself what seeds didn't grow, you know, relationships, partnerships, jobs, any situations, people, places, or things. This could be anything. And the point is, you don't want to keep putting work into something that just isn't working out. So it's time for you to gather your abundance and leave the rest behind, okay? So there's that, and it even stresses me out to talk about stuff like that because I just don't really have that much of an interest in that, you know, that sector of the world. I'm more so into the spirit, but there could be Cancers that need to hear that, and, you know, my cards don't lie. So whatever comes out, So there's some Cancers really working on that 10th house of career, and some of you are working on your finances, and you're really revisiting situations here to revisit the value of these situations, which makes perfect sense in April because we're going to be underneath, the Taurus energy. So Taurus is the house of value and personal resources. So that's what you're doing, Cancer, is just kind of gathering up your resources, trying to kind of get everything together so that you can take a step back and look at everything. And then we move into the world energy, okay? And I like this depiction of the world because we have a person who's almost entirely filled up with cosmic energy, minus the person's head that's in the clouds. So this reminds me a bit of the Aries reading. So this is the world, Cancer. And then we have this woman who's holding this orb of light in her hands. So this could be your emotion this month. Okay, you could feel like your head's in the clouds, and you could feel almost completely submerged. I mean, it's damn near completely submerged in this cosmic void, in the stars, in this energy of the universe, okay, which is not a bad thing, but you know, this is the universe here. And so everything I talked about in my intro video, you know, Mercury retrograde, the new moons, Chiron energy, you know, Pluto, Venus, all the planets, okay, all the planet energy. Some of us can feel these shifts. You know, the moon goes into Pisces and we feel it. We're going to feel this Scorpio full moon at the end of the month. So this is you really feeling with your entire body, not only the universe's energy, but the energy of those around you. Cancer, I just feel like you're very empathic in April, especially towards the end of April, because of the moon moving into a very intense emotional sign of Scorpio. Hopefully it's not painful for you. You have this in a very interesting part in your chart, which is the 5th house. For other people, it's going to be intensely painful. For water signs, I think this is it's going to be feeling right at home, okay? But this is the world nonetheless. And the world talks about completions of cycles, right? If we think of this as the card filling up, so soon it's all going to be filled, right? And so that means that it's a completion, you know? It's like filling up a cup or filling up something completely. Well, then it starts to overflow. So there is a need to watch your emotions this month, Cancer. And to avoid people who don't understand you emotionally. If they take away from your emotions, they make you feel silly for being a strong empath like you are, then you may need to make some adjustments there in the friend circle, which is interesting that I'm mentioning that because that's exactly the house of Aries for you. There could be some aggressive people around you in April that you just emotionally can't have around you right now. You're really extra sensitive for some reason. All the water signs are extra sensitive to what's going on, and we're extra sensitive to the people around us, extra impacted by energies. I mean, look how filled your fields are. You are almost completely connected, like this connected thing. So you're connected to the universe this month. You're connected to the world around you. And when you think about Gaia, the world, and the vibration that she's kind of distributing, we're going through spring. Spring's on its way. So yeah, everything's kind of lovely, but there's this intense energy that only very strong empaths can feel right now. Those are who are connected. See how that's kind of connected there? So only those of us who are very connected can feel the intense vibrations going on right now, which is a lot of death and rebirth. You know, it's no surprise that there's a Scorpio full moon at the end of the month, because it's really going to kill anything that's no longer alive. It's going to just kill something off completely. This Scorpio full moon is literally the moment that the butterfly hatches out of the cocoon. Like, and if it's not that moment, it's the moment where the caterpillar is like turning into a butterfly. Okay, and it's interesting. This energy reminds me of a womb. It reminds me of being in the womb. I always say that about the world card. In this deck over here, there's a naked woman around a green reef. If you've ever seen the world card in the other Rider-Waite tarot deck. So definitely a lot of completions going on with certain things that haven't grown as much as you'd like them to. You know, as far as seeds not growing, Cancer, this month, I think you're going to make the final decision, you know, to really, really determine whether that's worth your work. Something is completing for you this month. And that might be why, you know, if I know anything about water signs, if the most thing that gets us in our feelings, in our heart feelings, maybe even a little bit of a feeling of betrayal, is when we have to let go. When we have to, you know, we just feel guilty for letting go. Water doesn't let go. Water embraces you. Water surrounds you and heals you and cleanses you. And, you know, we don't like to let go. We don't like to give up. We don't like to, you know, fail at things emotionally. So there could be some of that going on. That might be why there's some sad emotions going on, Cancer, because there's just things that are just literally over for you. But I want you to remember that for every ending, there's a beginning, which is why we have the Three of Swords and the Knight of Cups. And behind that Knight of Cups, we do have the Two of Swords, okay? So definitely some love confusion going on. We have the Two of Swords behind the Knight of Cups with the Three of Swords as your overall energy. So there's you're confused. Your heart is confused about something that has ended. Some of you are even confused about something that's beginning for you. And it's just doing a really, really hard number on your emotions, Cancer. And so we move from the world, which is completed energies, completed cycles of growth, completed cycles of hard work and determination, and new beginnings in those departments, right? That's literally that full moon in Libra for you. That's literally that the Aries new moon energy. There's a lot completing. I mean, we literally just completed a whole zodiac wheel, right? Pisces is the 12th house. Anytime we move from March to April, from Pisces to Aries, we literally go from 12 to 1. Okay, so it's literally a cycle. We just ended, our zodiac cycle has started over. So we're back to square one, and, you know, that has a different effect on all of us. So we have the Seven of Swords, not my favorite energy. So we do have some energy here that does speak to betrayal for sure, Cancer. I don't like telling you that, but You know, you come to me for the truth. You know, you come to me for validation, right? Hopefully you come to me to just feel understood and to know that you're not crazy, that these energies are really happening. So for some of you, there is a person, place, or thing, there's an energy in your life that is really sneaky. You know, this is someone who is stealing, someone who is doing something in the dark that will soon come to the light, though. So just know, Cancer, if you have an intuition that someone is betraying you, or that there's some kind of false love offer, or someone who's messing around with your feelings, people try to emotionally manipulate, Cancer, and it's just the silliest thing ever, because, you know, you guys are literally the fourth house of emotional foundation. So you guys were the first zodiac sign to develop a strong emotional bond with the universe, and people try to get in the middle of that. People try to get up inside your head. This is an air energy. So we have earth energy and air energy here. And we don't have much water energy, okay? But we do have the Queen of Swords, okay? And she's just kind of hanging out over here. So you've got your sword drawn, Cancer, and you may embody some more of that Libra, Aquarius, Gemini energy, which is more of an intellectual energy. These energies can be a little bit less emotional than water signs and fire signs. Air and earth, they can be kind of detached. So because you're dealing with so much pain, and because you're feeling such sinister, insidious energies like this, you know, you could be embodying more of the detached energy, because that's what water signs do when we get afraid. When we try to protect ourselves, we get inside our mind and less inside of our heart. So now this is starting to make sense to me. This is a heart and mind collision, because the swords represent our mind. The swords represent our communication and our thoughts. So you could just be spending a lot of time, and I don't know if you can hear the wind howling, but it definitely is. So even the wind is speaking right now. There's a lot of air energy. Like, I can hear the air. The air is very strong. You know, there's a lot of storm energy coming. And as water signs, we can feel when it's snowy and when it's rainy. You know, there's a reason why when it rains, people get moody. Okay? And that's because that's the universe's way of expressing emotion. When the universe wants to cry, it rains. I just needed a drink. So interesting that I'm talking about cloudy and rain and all that, because the Three of Swords definitely depicts rain and clouds, and this is your heart space. This is your heart chakra, Cancer. And it's not doing as well as it could be doing, you know, and this is happening inside your mind and in your heart. So perhaps your mind is going against your heart right now. Perhaps your mind wants something quicker than your heart accepts it, or maybe your heart wants something but your mind is telling you another thing, and it has something to do with a love offer for sure. A confusing love offer, because we have the Two of Swords and we have the Knight of Cups. So somebody offered you something in April, or you want somebody to offer you something in April, and it's just confusing you. You have to choose between two lovers. I mean, there could be someone even coming back from your past. I don't know what the hell is going on with this Judgment in this Tower. But I have seen this in so many people's reading. This showed up in the Gemini reading. This showed up in a private reading that I done for a Gemini Cancer cusp. So Gemini and Cancer are going through the Tower in the fucking Judgment card, which is something falling apart, from the universe coming in and stopping something so that something else can awaken. So there's things falling apart in your life right now, Cancer, that the universe is purposely destroying so that it can kind of call it back from the grave. So something's going to die and instantly be reborn. Do you see that? Just like the caterpillar and the butterfly. There's a lot here. This is so emotional. And, you know, these are cycles of death and rebirth. This is the Scorpio full moon, you know. So whatever is dying, you know, metaphorically, jobs, people, places, things, relationships, finances, your feelings, whatever this Tower means for you in April, just know that it's crumbling down so that something new can rise from the smoke and ashes. Because we have these people in the Judgment card that are rising up. We see this angel here, right? So the angels are orchestrating this. This angel Gabriel, this archangel here, is playing this trumpet, and it's awakening these people from their grave. So there's a second chance with something that fell apart for Cancer. There's a second chance. There's a renewal. a rebirth, an awakening happening with something that ended, something that was chaotic. And we have the Four of Wands. So, I mean, a lot of this is reiterating. A lot of this is very much reiterating from a private reading that I done for a Cancer. So, the sun is coming in the future, and I'm gonna say in May and June, when it's actually sunshiny outside, we have a celebration here. 2 cards that mean celebration and positivity. It also means there's gonna be something that you come aware of, Cancer, and we have literally the Death card here. So it's Scorpio energy. You know, there's a pain that is transforming with you this month. The pain of something completing and falling apart. The Ten of Swords is a painful completion. The Tower is a painful completion. So we have 2 different depictions. See this here? Okay, a painful completion. Let's take a closer look here at the Ten of Swords. So these cards came out one after another. Painful completion there. Something ended, but it ended so that it could transform. This is someone who looks pretty dead too, right? So something is literally, it appears to be dead and gone, but then we have a transformation, the Judgment card and the Scorpio card. So death and rebirth, death and rebirth. Hopefully you can see that there. So, you know, that Judgment and that Tower card though, definitely something that is showing up for a lot of people. Like, I've never seen these cards come out so close together, and they even come out in this deck too. Okay, so I can't make this stuff up. So I don't know what order these went in, but I do know that that you had the Knight of Cups at the bottom of your deck. So there's that little message for you, Cancer. You know, just taking a closer look there at that Knight of Cups and what's going on in the love department. Now I'm gonna go ahead and talk about Capricorn here for a minute, even though I'm jumping around a little bit, but I do feel led to mention your 7th house of relationships. So Capricorn is the opposite sign of Cancer. And so in the universe, whenever anything enters Capricorn, it is entering your 7th house of relationships. So what do we have in your 7th house as far as in April and as far as the last few months? We've had a lot of energy. We have Saturn in your 7th house of relationships. If some of you want to check out my Saturn video, I have a Saturn video for Cancer. It talks all about Saturn in the 7th house. So you can find my video there. You might have to scroll back a little bit for it, but you'll see it because it has a picture of me holding the planet Saturn. And I talk all about karmic relationships and stuff like that. So you could be going through a lot of karmic relationships, which can be kind of heartbreaking, which we literally have that over here. And we also have Mars in your 7th house. Okay, Mars has been hanging out in Capricorn. That's a very strong masculine energy of aggression and action and attraction. So there could be some aggressive relationships entering your life, or you could just be feeling aggressive energy towards other people, because this isn't just love relationships. This is, you know, all relationships. Your relationship with your cat, your relationship with me as a tarot reader, a relationship with your mother or father or siblings or work people, co-workers. So we also had that Libra full moon at the end of March, which is the 7th house for everyone, right? Libra is the 7th house of relationships. So we had a lot of completions happen there and a lot of new beginnings happen there. So a lot of us are feeling like a band-aid's been ripped off, you know, without being prepared at all. So, you know, I'm not sure about this 7 of Swords up here, but we do have the Devil card here. In this deck, the Devil card looks a bit different than how it looks in this deck here. It doesn't look as scary. There's not some huge demonic figure. There's not as much darkness. So this does remind me of addiction. It does remind me of obsession, manipulation, karma. So your 7th house of relationships is coming up here, and it's coming up right underneath the world. So your karmic world, there are karmic completions happening with Cancer this month, which can seem a little bit out of your control. You know, it's literally destined for certain things to begin and end right now for you as a Cancer. And, you know, that can really seem a little bit unavoidable, which can get a water sign in their feelings. It can be very, you know, emotional. So I do see something coming to an end with some sort of karmic partner for you guys. And you know, that's because of Pluto, Mars, and Saturn all in your 7th house opposite of you. So there's a very opposing energy happening with you, Cancer, and that's where you're feeling all that rough energy. But you're being asked to kind of take a closer look at these energies. But, you know, I do feel the need to mention anything that you feel chained to. You know, in this card, we see someone walking away from that. Someone who walked away from an addictive home environment. You know, someone was obsessed or something like that. This is interesting. There's a house in the back here, and there's all these things that the woman has dropped and let go of. So this talks about releasing toxicity. Releasing anything toxic for you, people, places, or things. Relationships for sure. Pluto is in your 7th house, purifying your relationships with other people, places, and things. It's purifying all of your relationships with all things. Saturn is there karmically purifying things. Saturn is there restricting certain things in your 7th house. Saturn, and then Mars is there. Yes, it can add aggression, but it also is adding action to all this, okay? Mars is the god of war. So some of you could be at war with your love life. And certain completions happening in that, you know? So there's a need to really surrender here and just kind of walk away from anything that is causing you too much pain, Cancer. I don't know. I feel that I need to mention more about this 7 of Swords, but I really just feel like you're going to be using this sword this month because we do have the 3 of Swords. Okay, so there is this air energy. You could be communicating from your heart about, you know, what you feel about these darker energies in your life. Like, I know you're there. I know you're stealing from my energy. I know you're trying to manipulate me, you know, and I'm going to play the fool for a minute because Cancer will do that. Cancer will let you do something and they'll be 6 steps ahead of you. Like, they already know that you're not emotionally attached to them, you know, and it's your loss, buddy. Like, Cancers are some of the best lovers of the zodiac because they're just so nurturing and healing. So, you know, I just think that this is you. Like, her sword is drawn up in the air and his is let down. And then we have these swords back here, okay? So, you know, this, as far as this sneaky mental betraying energy, someone's mentally manipulating you, Cancer. You could just be letting your own thoughts mentally manipulate you this month. And, you know, it's time to cut that kind of stuff out. There's a mask here on the ground. So there's going to be certain masks that fall off this month for you, Cancer. And it's not just you. You're cutting the masks off of other people. Some people look very lovely on the outside, but when you cut their mask off and when you take their hood off of them, like this man, he's wearing a hood. So there's someone in disguise, okay? And you're going to learn more about someone who, you're going to see the true colors of people is what I'm trying to say. The light is going to show you the awareness of this, okay? And it's going to kind of release you from this toxic energy. It's going to release you from this manipulative energy. You're going to cut the mask right off of someone. You know, I'm seeing a lot here because this man, he has 2 swords on his back. You see that? And then he has that one sword there drawn. So that reminds me of the 3 of Swords. This is someone who got away with breaking your heart. And you're just going to cut through the illusion that you know, because as water signs, sometimes we can make people look kinder and sweeter and, you know, we emotionally understand. You know, as soon as someone does something to us, even energies like this, they could have stolen from us, manipulated us, lying to us, cheating on us, and we immediately try to understand them emotionally. And that's why we're such rare, special people, Cancer, and Scorpio and Pisces too. You know, we are very emotionally like, we just want to care for these kind of people. Like, oh, you poor thing. You feel the need to manipulate me. Oh, you poor soul. Come here. I'll give you a hug and love you until the end of time. The only problem with that is our cup winds up getting drained. So this Knight of Cups could be here with the 2 of Swords and the 3 of Swords because this is you offering your cup of healing to someone who is not accepting it, someone who is not around to accept it. So we're going to move in here to the Page of Swords, which is, the Page of Pentacles, which is underneath the 7 of Pentacles. So we have 2 Pentacle cards right underneath each other. So there is a need to take a closer look at something. You might feel like something hasn't grown this month, but then you take a closer look at it with this magnifying glass, and then you see, wow, there is value here. you know? And this is hard work. This is you taking a closer look at something. This is the start of a physical journey, right? This is you starting to plant your seed. This is financial for sure. This is financial. This is logical. This is pinnacle energy. So it could be an earth sign for some of you. I do see Capricorn here, but it doesn't have to be Capricorn. Tai, please don't bark. No, go sleep. My little chihuahua is down here. So, I do see these pages here. Literally, the pages here on the desk. So there might be some pages that you need to fill up. You might need to take a closer look at your finances, or a closer look at an earth sign. Just a closer look at your value, Cancer. So don't walk away from that tree just yet, because before you know it, they're going to blossom and bloom. So this is you just starting that journey, And this is towards the end of the month here. So there could have been, at the beginning of the month, you picked certain seeds off of a tree, metaphorically. And then coming into the second half of the month, you go back and take a closer look, like, So depending on what these coins mean for you, these could very well mean relationships. This could mean finances. This could mean anything that you value. So this is you taking a closer look at what it is that you value this month. There are certain things here that are blank, and so this is a new beginning. That is what this means. The reason why only one of these pentacles have a star on it, the rest, these two are blank, and then all these blank pages. Well, I'm a writer, and as a writer, and maybe some of you are artists, a blank page is such a clean slate, right? So this is a clean slate. Maybe that's why the Judgment card was there, because you're starting over. There's a refreshed page. There's no mistakes. There's no errors. And you're just kind of observing this. You're observing this new beginning. And then that's when the Devil card comes in, because you could be observing a karmic situation closely. Could be taking a closer look at this addiction, or a closer look at this karma, a closer look at this manipulation, because we do have manipulation here. We do have betrayal here. So betrayal, manipulation, even if this isn't happening in your life, Cancer, the universe is taking you back to moments that this did happen, because we have Mercury retrograde and Saturn retrograde and Pluto retrograde. Okay, so we have 3 planets retrograde. Mercury is going to go back direct. But remember, the first half of the month, Mercury was very much retrograde. And I'm mentioning this because when planets go retrograde, we take on this kind of slower, melancholy, reflecting. This is when we go we go inside, we go internal to reflect on everything that's happened mentally. So this is Mercury retrograde for you, reflecting, certain people coming back from your past. Retrogrades definitely bring back people, places, and things from your past. So you could just be looking at manipulation in a different way, like, you manipulated me 3 years ago, and you kind of broke my heart 3 years ago. So I'm just kind of revisiting that and taking a closer look at that. Taking a closer look at why it is I walked away from this home environment, or why I walked away from this Capricorn or karmic energy. Someone might have had an addiction. Someone might have been chained to another person. So you're just trying to understand this. You're trying to understand the value in this. And I'm getting this energy, Cancer, that you're just moving into acceptance. I see a lot of acceptance here. Like, has it grown? Has it not? Things are just completing, and I want to hold up this Devil card again with this World card, because this energy is coming to a completion, and there's something beginning as well. So in order for something to end, you have to walk away and start a new journey, right? And then that's when you're going to come in and take a closer look at these things. And then we have the 9 of Wands. So we end the month here, that Scorpio full moon, it may bring up a lot of vulnerabilities with you, Cancer. It could bring up a lot of, but this is another garden here. So, but I know the meaning of the 9 of Wands, which is someone who is wounded and defensive and on the verge of feeling attacked and feeling like they have to fight and defend themselves. But for you, I think this is you just defending your own growth, because we have this woman here who is tending to her garden. And you kind of started the month out like that. So this is all about growth for you, Cancer. This is all about you seeing what is coming to fruition and what hasn't. Because I think you're just done playing games. Like, you're so submerged in all these feelings that you're so affected by all this karma and all this growth and all these energies, all these people and places and things, mentally, emotionally, even financially. So at this point, you're just like, okay, I'm just going to defend my own growth. Like, I've come a long way. It took me forever to get over this. I mean, Cancer, you could have been down and out for months, you know, over this betrayal, over this heartbreak, over this letdown. This was a huge blow to your heart. So you are rightfully defensive because you have some kind of challenging energies here in your cards, which is why you're taking on more of this defensive energy. You see these swords? This person has this sword drawn. So you're like over the bullshit in April. You know, you're very intuitive, you're very empathic, and you're done playing games. You're done with the act. This person is behind, there's curtains in this mask. So cut the act, cut the bullshit. I've been pretending for long enough, and I'm not in the mood anymore, says Cancer. Cancer is saying this. You guys are saying this. I'm not in the mood to fight anymore. I'm not in the mood to resist this. I'm going to focus on my own growth. And if you're going to fucking play around with me, I'm going to cut your mask off and make you feel as vulnerable as I felt when I was exposed to you. So you're over the games. You're over people trying to manipulate you, and you're way smarter emotionally than that. But I do see you just tending to your own growth and your own beauty and abundance, and being defensive over that, finally, over your own emotional growth. The bottom of the deck, we have the High Priestess, which is your energy. This is the High Priestess. This is Cancer energy. And we have the moon here. So this person is reflecting. This is the High Priestess. She knows all. So if you're cross-watching for a Cancer because you're dealing with a Cancer, if you're doing things behind their back, if you're playing games, if you're wearing a mask, I mean, some of you might not even be cheating. This energy doesn't have to be someone who's lying to you. It doesn't have to be someone who's cheating on you. This is someone who's just portraying themselves as something they're not. So if you're playing around with a Cancer, you need to get real fucking real. I mean, you need to get Queen of Swords honest with them. And Cancer, this goes for you too. You know, there's a need to really cut out the bullshit this month because us water signs, we just feel so much. We've been emotionally upgraded, okay, because of Pisces season and because of the universe. So we feel things even more right now. So we're just kind of very spiritual. We're very, very meditative. We are very, very psychic right now. Cancer, you're very, very psychic right now. And, you know, I think you're just seeing things in a deeper way. You're really seeing things behind the scenes. That's another energy that's going on here. This person could be behind the curtain. You know, this is your mental. This is you seeing things in a mental way. But I do see the High Priestess here. And right behind her, we have the Temperance. With this is just beautiful. So for some of you, it's a Sagittarius, because we have the Sagittarius card here. The Temperance card is just beautiful. This is balance. And look at that beautiful full moon. We have the moon here as well. So the moon, your ruling planet, Cancer, the full moon, it's showing up here in these cards. That's your emotions. That's your inner soul, your inner feelings, your shadow side. So you could be reflecting a lot on your shadow side this month and the shadow sides of others. That could be why the Seven of Swords is hanging out down there. You know, you're just really, really going beneath the scenes in the shadows right now to figure out what it is that people really, really feel. What is the true intent? And there's a need to stay grounded. You know, we always talk about the foot here, how it's one of them's in the water and one of them's on land. So let your planet guide you. Tap into your moon energy, Cancer, so that you can be psychic and intuitive. I do see a lot of fire energy here for you, the Eight of Wands. So there could be some kind of fire coming in, you know. And we have the Death card once again in the Magician. So in the Aries card. So Scorpio and Aries, that's a Mars energy, okay? But we have all that underneath the High Priestess. So let's take a look here. You know, there is some emotional confusion going on there, Cancer, which is what has everything to do with that Three of Swords. We have this Tower, okay, in the Judgment card. Something ending, and this is confusing. I mean, I understand. We have two aces here for you, okay? So this is very, very, very much Cancer energy. It's matching and we have the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Swords. So someone coming in, Page of Wands, Four of Pentacles. Someone's hanging on to a fire sign. We have the Death card and the Ace of Pentacles. So something is transforming. The universe is going to give you something transforming. You know, so I would embrace this overall energy because your heart, you know, follow your heart, Cancer. And everyone always says that, but You know, even when your heart is broken, even when your heart is confused, even when you feel betrayed, you want to listen to your inner guidance. You want to listen to your own heart, because love is the answer. Love is the only vibration that truly exists. And hate is only the absence of that. You know, light is the absence of darkness. Darkness is the absence of light. And it goes for the same for all opposites. Cancer is the absence of Capricorn. Capricorn is the absence of Cancer. So even let your heart guide you even when it's broken. That is what my message is for you this month, because there is new emotion coming in. We have the Knight of Cups as an overall energy with the High Priestess. So there's some sort of spiritual union or some sort of emotional movement. Maybe you were sitting still for a long time, and finally in April you're going to start seeing some emotional improvement. Finally, you're going to start seeing either you or someone else show emotional action towards you. Maybe this broken heart is coming up because it's going to be healed. So that's my message for you in April, Cancer. I do hope that it was relatable. And, you know, as far as those heavy emotions that I know you and I are both feeling right now, there's a reason for them, okay? There's a reason. So let your emotions guide you. Let your pain be your priest, so that you can learn from this. Communicate from your heart, Cancer. Don't be afraid to be emotionally vulnerable to these people, because they are. You don't have to be like them. They're not you. You have emotional superpowers to help you. So I hope you have a great April, and I will talk to you guys around this time in Taurus season. Bye.